I'm good.
We live. Black Box Radio. We are in the box and we are in the bbR spotlight today. I have a special guest, but I first want to talk to you guys about what we're doing at Black Box Radio. We are a media platform illustrating Black excellence. I'm Queen, I'm a host here. We platform Black people, we expose Black genius, and we disseminate information to the community, especially the Black community. But more than anything, our experience is humanized by our words, our actions, and the things we talk about. So we do this on a 8 to 9 pieces a month. So check us out. Subscribe to blackboxradio.com and subscribe to our email, not our email, our YouTube channel, Black Box Radio. So please subscribe, roll with us, check us out. But tonight we have a guest. DJs. I don't know if you guys know. Everybody knows a DJ because the party ain't right till you got a DJ. The party just ain't right. I don't care what you put on, you need to have a DJ. And so when I was growing up, I didn't know DJ could be something that was a career and the way DJs is lucrative now. This is something that is so amazing to me. So I wanted to hear from a DJ. And we got one of the best that ever did it. We got a legend in BMore. We got DJ PoPe. Say hi to the people, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
So DJ PoPe, Brian
Yep.
PoPe, tell us like where you're from, how you got to Baltimore, and and then we're gonna jump in like to why you became a DJ, when did you become a DJ? But just tell us where you're from and all of that.
I am originally from Chicago, Illinois,
Mm,
born and raised. Came to Baltimore to attend college at Morgan State University.
that was a smart thing, and I approve of that message for sure. And that's on your chest. I'm what's up with that. Morgan B is for life. So
hmm
anyway, let's move on. You are from Chicago, so everyone knows about infamous house music, Chicago, Illinois. So are you a lover of house music?
Oh yeah. No, I'm. I was born and raised on house music.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm a lover. I'm an advocate. I am a connoisseur. I'm all things when it comes to house.
Absolutely. You've been playing that for years. You got that down. I'm telling you. From college to now, you're still doing it. The thing about DJing and folks, you don't even know. It doesn't have an age limit.
No.
You continue to have on the job training because you
hmm
continue to hear music and if you to do the work. And it's just room so many opportunities when you control the music.
Yep.
So I didn't know that. So tell us how you became a DJ. How did that start?
Well, I've always been a lover of music, period, and that comes from my mom. She used to, collect 45s, and
Mm,
so I would, we used to have I guess it was considered a what they call a component set back in the day, where it was like a box, and you open the lid, and you had
I
the
got one right
turntable,
behind me.
you had the turntable, you had the 8 track, and then you had the radio.
Hmm.
So she played music, and I started to like music, and then from there, my mother's sister, she sang professionally back in the day. She used to sing with Ray Charles, background singer.
Okay.
She was on the play, the Broadway play called Hair,
Mm.
and then she had a couple of hit records on the legendary Chess record label, and that label is the label that movie that Beyonce did about Etta James.
Yes.
That label, my aunt had 2 hit records out on that label,
Mm.
and then from that point, she performed live with she sang background for the staple singers, and I used to always go to the rehearsals, so I
Okay.
was always around music, and so that's where it all stemmed from.
Okay. So when did the turntables come? When did you get them in your hands?
So it like in, I have a cousin who's also a DJ, who's a legendary DJ. His name is Farley Keith, and he used to DJ on the radio back in Chicago. This is when quote unquote the house music kicked off.
Okay.
We talking about like 80s,
80.
right? Yeah, like in 80s. And so he was on the radio, and I used to listen to him all the time. And then after going to a club to hear him play, I was hooked. I said that's what I want to do. I want to be a DJ.
And this is what age?
This was like this is like 79. This is like 79. When I started, kind of dabbling. Then 80 hit my freshman year in high school. I took my mother's Gerard turntable and saved my money up, and I bought my first Technique turntable. Was a SLB belt-driven, SLB 100 belt-driven turntable. So I had two Mitch-Max turntables with a Radio Shack 4-channel line mixer.
Wow, people don't know about Radio Shack. That ain't even open no more.
Yeah.
Man, and you had so it wasn't all in one. It wasn't none of that. It was two Mitch Mac turntables.
That when you was trying to mix the record, that you have to spin it with your finger to keep it on beat.
Yeah, oh, okay. I remember that. And I remember that DJing I thought was a hobby,
Well, it was a hobby for me. It was a hobby, and it just became more and more of a hobby because I started to put so much time into it and study it, So it was more than a hobby. And then and you know how sometimes you ever heard the song by Patti LaBelle is titled "Music is My Life."
Yes.
That's real. That's real. I mean, and at a young age, basketball was my passion too because I wanted to be a professional basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
So I was living these two lives. One was a basketball player, one was a DJ. But then when the dream of being a basketball player left, I was like I'm full throttle on this DJing.
And that's where it's been.
Yeah, and then the crazy part, it almost stopped me from coming to Baltimore.
Wow.
Because when I was 15, I used to play at this club. I used to do a teen party on Friday nights, and this was the club that the legendary Frankie Knuckles used to play at.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I would do a teen night from like 6 to 10, and then Frankie Knuckles would do his normal night starting at midnight. So I'm playing, and I'm in the clubs now. So when I graduated out of high school, I'm like, I know what I want to do. I ain't got to go to college to be no DJ. But my mom, she knew exactly how to motivate me in a weird kind of way. And she passed about 2.5 years ago, so I never really asked her about did you do this on purpose? Because like when I graduated out of high school, she was like, well, you need to go get a job, or you getting the heck out of here. Your brother, and at the time my brother was at Howard University. Your brother's at Howard. My older brother went to Southern Illinois University. All your brothers in college. So if you don't go to college, you. So and I'm the kind of person when somebody tell me I can't do something, I just do it just to prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, well, because when in high school I wasn't a great student. I just did enough to play basketball because I couldn't stand school. I couldn't stand it, right? So I just played basketball, did enough to play basketball. And so when you know she saw that, she was like, well, you get a job, blah blah blah, or you getting the hell out of here, blah blah blah. And so I said, okay, fine, I'm gonna go to college. And so I came to Morgan, and you know that was the best move I ever made in my life.
Wow. I like to hear that. Morgan was the best move, bruh.
Hmm.
Yep. College is something. You know, any college you go to, it's probably an amazing experience. But HBCU, man.
Well, see, I got my experience is a little bit different because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be at Morgan. I wanted to be in Chicago DJing. So my college years was different. I mean, like I say, I don't regret it, but when I look back, there was a lot of things that I could have did that I didn't do. You
Yeah.
know, my first semester at Morgan, I lived in O'Connell, you know, and then my second semester I moved off campus. You know, second semester freshman, I left campus. I didn't want to be there. So I got me a little house across the street from Morgan. But then I think the saving grace for me was I took my radio and I said, you know what? I can get on the radio, right? So my major was communications with a minor in speech. Um, so I got on the radio and I started playing jazz music, which I hated because I didn't know nothing about it. And then after being on the radio for about a year and a half, um, I went and talked to the station manager about trying to get a mix show on EAA to play house music. No, we can't do that. This is a jazz radio station. No, 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 no. So there you go again. Somebody telling me I can't do something.
Ooh.
So I went and I got a petition with the students and some of the faculty because I knew some of the students from New York. They was in the club music. Because they New York. And I knew some of the faculty members that were old club heads. So I got all these signatures and went back to the station manager, and she was like, okay, right? So at that point, that's when Morgan was ready to go 24 hours. So Morgan typically would go off the air at 12 o'clock, right? And so they said, okay, well, check this. Since he want to be on the radio, we can get him to be on the radio at midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So because nobody wanted to do that shift anyway. So there you go again. It backfired because that show took off at midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning. I received awards from Baltimore City, the Baltimore City newspaper for the best mix show in Baltimore. I received a write-up as the best mix show in Baltimore from a magazine called Detail Fashion Magazine out of New York.
Wow.
So when that happened, my ratings, I was blowing some of the commercial radio stations out on Friday night.
Wow.
So they moved me to Saturday from 7 p.m. to 12 midnight, which prime time on the weekend.
That's prime time.
And then, as they say, the rest is history.
The rest is history, bro. What was the name of the show?
Originally, it started off. You remember because she wanted to take hold of everything, so, and she didn't want it to be familiar with anything dance orientated. So at that time, there was an album out by Quincy Jones, and it was called Back on the Block. Remember that album? Because that album had like hip hop rappers on it. It had it had all these people on it, right? Yeah. And it was called Back on the Block. So she named that show on Friday night called Back on the Block.
Oh, okay.
But then when it moved from Friday to Saturday, I changed the name to the underground experience.
That's what blew up.
Yep.
And you was in that spot for a long time.
I was on the air with that show for about from 90 from 89 to 2000 and 2000 and something. I can't remember the end date, but it was well over 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's way after school. You were still doing that show.
Well, and then once when I graduated, I started working at WEA. I was on staff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I was teaching too for a hot second. For about like 6 years, I created a program at WEAA. I was the intern coordinator, so I was the liaison for the students and the station. So if students were interested in being on the radio, they would come to me, and then I would train them, and then I would grade them. They would get a grade from me. So yeah, I was working at EA for a while.
Oh, okay. So you were doing some groundwork.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you was using your degree.
Oh, most definitely. Yep.
Okay. Okay. And so, did you know that DJ will do what it's doing today? Like multimillionaires, it is a thing. It is a lot of people's only thing.
Yeah. Well, now I wouldn't say a lot of people though. It's a very very small number.
Okay.
DJing is not like it used to be. You could back in the day you could make a living off of DJing. Now there's a like I said, it's a small number of guys that are still doing it, but it's not a lot. It ain't like it used to be.
It isn't. Okay. So, did you think it would even be this? It can be actually career. Did you think that when you were falling in love with music and you were doing DJing, did you ever foresee it to do what it's doing today?
No, I didn't foresee it, but I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I knew that if I can do it and take care of what I'm supposed to take care of, then I will be fine. I never did it to be rich or try to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say coming to Morgan was the best thing that I could have done, because it allowed me to have something to fall back on. Like my son, he's a DJ too, and I tell him all the time, you need to get this piece of paper, because that piece of paper is something that can't nobody take away from you, and it allows you to go and try to be a superstar DJ. Because if it don't work, you got this piece of paper you can fall back on.
How old is he?
My son is 22.
Yeah, that's a pivotal time before you get immersed. Get that paper. Yeah. Get that paper. So DJing is in the blood now. You passed it on, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
You said unfortunately. Come on.
Well, see, I see it because I've been in it for so long, and I've seen the changes, and I know that it's a very small, minute number of people that are making it as a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know the games that are being played, so that's not what I really wanted him to pick up. I wanted him to pick up getting up every day, going to work, taking care of your family. That's what I wanted him to pick up, not the DJing, because I know he can DJ. I knew that when he was 11 years old. You know, when he played his first festival at 11 years old. So I mean, I know he can play, but that don't move me. You know, because I need him to be able to take care of him and his family. So, you know, the DJ, whatever.
Well, it opens up other opportunities now.
Well, see,
DJ, go ahead.
no, like I say, it's a small number. It's a small number,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so much politics involved that it's just so hard. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like now he has an opportunity that's coming up to basically make a serious move. Um, but still, he still needs something to fall back on. Like I told him, I say during this pandemic, right, almost 2.5 years, no one was traveling, no one was DJing. Them some of them DJs, they had to go back to work.
Yeah,
They had to figure it out.
you had to figure it out.
And
Yeah.
then what about the ones that's all they've been doing all their life is DJing? They don't know nothing about nothing but DJing.
So what were they going to?
Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
that time that was a scary time for DJs.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah, and I that's exactly what I told him. You know, I said, look at this. Look at this. This is real.
Yeah. If life stops, or life the way we know it stops, can you
Right.
recover?
Or can you survive?
Yeah. Can you survive?
You
That's
know?
it. That's
Yeah.
something to think about. You know, I think about that too. I'm like, wow, yeah. That paper means something. I go back to that paper.
Oh, yeah. Cause see that's the thing about that piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay, if it shuts down, this piece of paper has taught me that I can create my own platform. Exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I can create a avenue where people can just come and get information from.
Yeah.
You know, because I know how to do the camera. I know how to do OBS. You know, I know how to speak on the mic.
Yeah.
You know, I halfway look good on the camera. You know, shoot, I can create income because you know that degree showed me how to think outside the box.
It might not even what you studied, but the ability to think and the scalability of thought comes from when you access your mind. You got to teach it that. It don't just do that. That's the next step, right? You preaching, bro. That is it. We're not saying particularly that, listen, you got to go and you got to do this, because college has many, many resources. And one of the resources for you in your toolbox, it teaches you to think.
Mm-hmm. And it also teaches you to be humble. Because I tell you this story. I'm not sure if your friend ever told you this story. Now I started producing back in '91.
Okay.
Right. Now our friend, she could write her butt off.
Whoa.
She can write her butt off. She's a poet, you know. And I've always been into songs, but I never knew how to write a song. But I knew I had concepts. We wrote my first song together.
Whoa.
It was called "Come Together."
Wow.
Yeah, we wrote my first song together. She helped me write that song.
Amazing.
And she has a credit on there too. So you know, I could have been like, nah, she don't know about no doggone house music writing house. No. I knew she could write her ass off. Wow. And I asked her to help me, and she helped me. And to this day, I can write songs. I can write songs because of it.
Amazing. That's amazing testimony right there. Your first song. Yeah, she can write. My sister
Yeah.
can write. Yeah, and to do what she's doing now, she has to know how to write.
Yes.
So she's a great writer. That's amazing. That is amazing. Wow. So, but you created record companies.
Yep.
You, so you're still doing music. You might
Yep.
got the paper, but you still, yeah, there you go. That'll help. You still doing music. You got the, thank you. I was like, where you going from it? But
Right.
you
Right.
out
Right. Right.
in his car, y'all. This is real dedication to the platform. We appreciate you for that, big
I
um,
appreciate you.
brother Pope. So listen, you you have created stuff around the same genre, even though you got that paper.
Hmm.
So what's up with your, you got record companies. What's up with Funk? What is it, Funk Hunt?
Uncut Records. We actually started our first label. Me and my partner, which is another Morganite, OG Morris. We started a label,
DJ OG.
yeah, back in '91, and of course, Miss Love also assisted with the naming of the label. Because if you think of the label, it's spelled POJI, right? If you take the PO from Pope
Oh,
and
and
the
the
OJI
jazz.
from emoji, it spells Poji.
I love it.
And so we started that label as an avenue to be able to put out our music without having any exterior interferences or motives behind people telling us this is not good, this is this need to be here, this that kind of thing. So we just got fed up. We said, well, we're gonna be our own destiny. We're gonna start our own label so we can put out our own music. So we started Poji Records in 91. And then about 3 years ago, I started another label, my own label called Funk Cut Records.
Okay. So you still dabbling. You
Oh yeah,
still creating.
I will be making music till the day that he calls me home.
Oh wow. That's love right there. Forever and ever. And then when you go to the other realm, you're gonna be making music because
There
it's a
you go.
part of you.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a
it is.
part of you.
Hmm.
Wow. So man. So do you still DJ today?
Yeah, yeah. I do periodically. I'm supposed to do it every Thursday, from like 3 to 5. I do a on internet show on Twitch, my own show, broadcasting out of my studio in my house, from 3 to 5, on Twitch, twitch.tv / DJ Pope. And then I do a monthly party with a friend of mine we call Vibology, and that's at St. Mary's Bar and Grill.
Oh, so you're biology too.
Yeah,
That's why I saw you. You and B
yeah,
Dub.
yeah. Me and B Dutton.
Okay, I love it. So both my brothers. That's what's up. Okay, so
Hmm.
and that's once a month. Yeah, you had the Virgo joint. I didn't make it.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it was on my
Um, I,
birthday thing. September 17th is my birthday.
oh, okay. Well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, I missed it. So I
So
missed the Virgo joint.
our next one is on the 29th of October. That's going to be what's that, Virgo, right?
No, that's Libra, I
Oh, I'm
think.
sorry. That's Libra, and it's also going to be a breast cancer awareness event birthday. Um,
That's right,
um,
cause yeah, that's October. Yeah, breast. So
right,
yeah,
right.
and that segues into the next subject. You
I
had a
see how I set you up on that, right?
yeah, you set me up.
Pass the mic.
You know what that is? That's that education worker right there. You put that's the mass communications. You put that up for me. You seg me right into that. So to seg me into that, let's talk about health and how you doing and can you tell us a little bit about what you went through and where you're at now?
Back in and it's funny because I don't even remember when it actually. I might have the date wrong because that's just the way my mind works now. So I believe it was back in 2003, or is it 2003 or 2006? I was diagnosed of bone cancer, which is it's called multiple myeloma. It's a bone cancer, which is in my total structure.
Mm-hmm.
I was diagnosed due to I was having back pains for like 2.5 years. And I was going back and forth to doctors. They was taking film, and one doctor I went to, he had told me that I fractured my L5, right? So, and at that point, it had healed because it was 2.5 years later.
What?
And yeah, because it happened at one of an outdoor event. I had bent over to the cooler to get some water, and I heard something pop. And so I sat down. Somebody gave me some aspirin or something. And then when I went home that night, I got in the tub, and I couldn't get out. And then once I got out, I laid in the bed, and then I started feeling these spasms shooting from the top all the way to the bottom of my feet. And then I wound up going to the emergency room, and that's when they told me that I had fractured my L5, and it wound up healing, but it healed on an angle, which was pinching my nerve, right? So this is 2.5 years later. It's still giving me problems. So I go to Sinai, not knowing that I was walking into the Cancer Institute, because I had asked my wife to set up an appointment. I didn't want to go too far. I just need to go somewhere close to the house. And so she set it up, and I never even looked at that I was walking into the Cancer Institute. And the doctor had told me, bring all your films, x-rays when you come. So he takes my x-rays, he puts them on the board. Within 5 minutes, he looks at my x-rays, and he says, you have cancer. That was the first time in 2.5 years I heard that. And I had those films for about 2.5 years. Nobody told me this, and he told me this. So at that point, he shows me the circle, this big ball, black mass that's on my L5. He says that's a tumor, and he says it's weighing on your L5. So we need to do emergency surgery, right? And so they wanted to do. They scheduled the surgery. This was like on a Friday or a Thursday, and so they scheduled the surgery for Monday morning. We get a phone call on Sunday morning from the doctor's office, and the nurse had said, "I'm sorry, but Mr. I forget his name. He has passed away."
The doctor?
The doctor. He had a heart attack on a treadmill. Right? But check this out.
Oh my Lord.
But check this out. This is how God works, though, right? It took 2.5 years later, and this guy, within 5 minutes, to tell me that I had cancer.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And he told me I had to have surgery, because if he didn't, it was at any given moment I could have collapsed and I would have been paralyzed because of the tumor. Right?
Right.
So he gives me the message that I got cancer. So at that point, my wife, she didn't want me to have the surgery at Sinai anyway, but she never told me that. So she had to run and reschedule my surgery but she took all my stuff and moved it to Johns Hopkins.
Oh.
Right? So he gave me the information. I go to one of the best hospitals in the country, right? So they schedule. I come at 6:30 in the morning. My mom comes here from Chicago. My brother comes here from Philadelphia. We go to the hospital at 6:30 in the morning. Now, mind you, I don't know why I did it, but that morning I got up and I ate some cereal and some milk. Oh. So I'm sitting in the waiting room for the doctor.
Okay.
So he comes in and he says, "Did you eat anything this morning?" I said, "No, I ain't eating nothing. I just had some cereal and some milk." And he was like, "Oh my God, no!" Right? So he was like, "We're gonna have to postpone the surgery." Right? So he leaves. He's gone for about an hour. He comes back and he says, "We're gonna wait this out, but I'm going to be able to start the surgery, but I'm not going to be able to finish the surgery." Right? And then I said, "Okay." Right? So he goes away, comes back 30 minutes later, and he says, "Okay, I think we're good." Right? And he mentions to me again. He says, "I'm going to be able to start the surgery, but I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to be able to finish the surgery." So I'm looking at this guy, right? Now, I've already given this man my life, trusting him with my life, right? But he keep on telling me that he's not going to be able to finish the surgery, right? So I said, "Why you keep on telling me this?" I said, I forget what they call the other guy that's going to be working with him. I said, he's not capable of finishing the surgery? And then he looks at me and he says, "No, it's not that. It's just that I don't like nobody messing with my work."
Mm.
Now, this is a Jewish white guy. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to hold off on this. I'm going to wait, when you have time to do the surgery, right? But start to finish."
Mm.
So he leaves the room. He's gone for another 30 minutes. He comes back and he says, because his wife is a nurse at Johns Hopkins too. And the reason why he wasn't gonna be able to finish it because they had some prior engagements after they got off, right? So he went and spoke to his wife, and his wife told him, he says, "You know what? Don't worry about it. Go ahead and do the surgery." So he comes back to me and says, "I'm gonna do the entire surgery, and we're gonna continue." I said, "Okay, cool," right? So fast forward, I'm in surgery for 6.5 hours. I stop breathing on the table. I get out of surgery. I'm in intensive care. Tube down my throat. I'm in the hospital for like 2.5 days, and then they moved me out of the hospital. Out of intensive care to a room, and I think it was in 2 days. So I'm upstairs now, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm getting upset because I don't want to be in the hospital. I don't want to be here, and so the doctor comes in early in the morning, and he says, I say, "Doctor, when can I go home? I don't want to be. I'm tired. I want to go home." And he looks at me. He says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Pope, but you've been out of surgery for only 2 days. You've been out of ICU for only 2 days, and you haven't walked yet, right?" And so he leaves, and so I'm just doing. I'm crying. I'm upset, And so my brother walks. My mother comes in, and she's like, "What's going on?" Because she see me crying, and she looks at me and she says, "What's going on?" I said, "They won't let me go home because I haven't walked yet." And so she looks at me and she says, "Well, get up and walk in your healing." So my brother comes in, and I look at my brother, and I see this strong black man just walked into the room, and he sees me, and he asks me what's going on, and I tell him, and he says, "Well, walk in your healing." And so I get out of the bed. They give me a roller. I walk in the hallway, and I had to walk all the way to the end of the hallway and go into this room and walk up these steps, walk down, and then come back to the room. So when I'm walking in the hallway, every nurse that was ever in my room is in the hallway for some strange reason. And they looking at me like, what the hell is he doing out of the bed? It's only been 2 days. I walk in the room, I walk up the stairs with one hand, walk down the stairs with one hand, I come back to the room. As soon as I get back in the bed, I'm ringing the bell. And so the doctors come back in the room, and I'm like, it's time for me to go home. And he was like, well, you haven't. I said, I just walked. So I get out of the hospital, and I come home, and they set up everything on the first level of my house because I couldn't walk up the second floor of my house. And I'm just walking. I'm teaching myself to walk again and everything. And it's been a journey, and it was a journey that I had to go through, and I never questioned it. Why me? Why do I have cancer? Why did I have to learn how to walk? Why did they cut my back? I've never questioned it. And so from that point, I knew before I even went into the hospital to have the surgery that I was going to be okay because the Lord told me. And he also told me that when he comes to get me, it's not going to be because of cancer. So it's been like I say, since 2006. I did chemo for a while, and I've been off of chemo for about maybe about 6 years because I stopped taking it. And I'm not in remission, but my numbers are not going up and they're not going down. They just at halt. And the doctors, they can't tell me why, but I know why. And so but they always trying to get me to get back on chemo because they say your numbers can go back up. Yeah, I know, but the Lord it's not going to do that because He told me. So there's no reason for me to keep taking chemo, which is killing me anyway. And so I've been off of chemo for 6 years. I take 3 vitamins every week, and that's where I'm at with the cancer. And then like for instance, right now it's confirmation for me because if I don't talk about it, then why did He leave me here?
Exactly.
He could have took me when I stopped breathing on the operating table.
Yes.
So I've had instances with people who have cancer or people that they know somebody who have cancer, and I've told them my testimony, and some of them have changed. So every time I get to talk about it, it's confirmation, and I just say, "Ding, confirmation," just like that last day of my chemo when I rang that bell, ding.
Yes.
So it's just confirmation.
Wow, that's a heck of a story, and your will to survive, but your connection with your spirituality is what is what is really I really got from that, man. So you're doing well.
Yeah.
Excellent. And they successfully removed all of the tumor from your L5.
Yeah, they took the tumor out, but I still have cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're walking fine, and
yeah, it's every day. I get up in the morning. I'm in pain. I'm in pain right now.
Wow.
I have neuropathy in my left foot. You know what that is, right?
I think so.
And that's basically when it's like, for instance, if you sleep on your arm,
it's numb all the time, and you feel it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I have that because they cut the nerve on my left side and it never grew back.
Oh.
They shrunk me because they took my L5 out.
Oh, they took the whole thing out.
Yeah, they took the L5 out because
Wow.
it was fractured. And so I have a plate, 2 rods, and 5 screws in my back.
Wow.
So every day, I have pain every day. But I've always say too that the Lord don't put nothing on you that you can't handle.
Hmm.
So I've learned to live with it.
Wow, that's an amazing story. So you have a lot to celebrate. You know, you're supposed to be here, and you know, the body is a space and time, and this is your space and time.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're sharing and transparent about this health journey. But I always say 80% of healing starts in your mind.
Yes, it does. And I like, again, that Morgan education when this first happened, me being the person too that I am, I'm not one to lay down. So when it was delivered to me, my first, he was like, well, typically men live for 3 years with this disease and blah blah blah. I said okay. So I'm like, well, I'm different. I'm not going out like that. You know, I'm fighting for my life, and
Absolutely.
every day we going at it.
Going at
And
it.
so I know too that I had to change my eating habits. So I don't eat meat, red meat, pork, chicken, turkey. I don't eat none of that.
Excellent.
But then again too, to go back and then come back to show you how God works. I had stopped eating red meat and pork like 3 or 4 years before I had the operation, right? And the doctor told me due to the fact that I didn't eat red meat or chicken or any of that, when they opened my back, it was a clean view to where they had to go. Whereas if I, how meat stays
You
in,
have no plaque, and yeah.
yeah. So it was setting me up without even me even knowing, you know.
Absolutely.
And I eat greens. I don't mess with high fructose anymore. And then I'm positive. I don't let nothing bother me.
It starts here, bro.
If I can fix it now, I'll fix it. But if I can't fix it, I don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. No stress.
Yeah, because tomorrow has enough to worry about itself anyway.
You better preach. That is it. And so, man, we went from DJ to health. I love this. I love. I've never talked to a DJ. Well, we're just in our third year. It's not like I've been doing this for 30 years. Get it together. But I never talked to a DJ because DJs usually set up they set up the environment. And so to be able to have this conversation with you is to me is very it's different. Because you guys just set the mic up and do your thing, you know what I'm saying? So we're getting a little backstory, man. So what is PoPe going to do now? So you got this second chance. You're living intentional. You're eating as well as possible. Your mind is clear. You're not stressing. What's next?
My thing. I'm in the process of getting my 2 kids ready, right? Because before I went in to have the operation, I asked the Lord for 2 things. I said, when I get out of this hospital, out of the operation, I don't want to have no pain. The second thing I said, before you come get me, make sure that I have both of my kids ready to where they can be able to be successful in whatever they need to be successful in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can come get me.
I love it.
When I got out of the operation, I didn't have no pain. Even then, the doctors couldn't understand that. They were trying to dope me up, giving me all these drugs, and I'm like, I don't need this. I mean, it got to the point where they would give me the pills. I'll take them, Then when he leaves, I'll throw him, put him in the, because I didn't have no pain.
Wow.
and they couldn't understand that. And I kept telling me, this is bigger than you all. And now, with my kids, you know, I'm having a second opportunity to retrain my son. You know, because he thought he was there, but he's not. So, and you know, I'm in that space right now with him. And then my daughter, you know, we're moving to where she's trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at right now. Now the music, it allows me to get up every day, you know, because I have something to, you know, look forward to as far as, you know, being creative,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
That's where you're at now. Okay. And so you're doing a monthly show, and you're still have your record company, and you're
Hmm.
preparing your kids for greatness.
Yeah.
That's all good right there, brother. That's what's up. What about homecoming? Stop playing.
Um.
Morgan homecoming coming up. Stop playing. What we doing, bro?
Well,
What's going on?
we actually, me and OG, we well, this is my first time, but this is my first time actually being invited to play at a homecoming event. Um, it's going to be at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum, and there's going to be 3 rooms. There's 6 DJs,
Mm,
and each room is going to be a different era.
mm.
So, like me and OG, we're going to be from
The
from
80s,
the yeah, the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, 80s and 90s.
60s, and the 70s.
Yeah, I don't think they went that far. Cause then they got something from 2010 and then to this day. So yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're gonna be doing.
That's what's up. Well, okay, so you in the lineup. See, I love to be when I'm around celebrities.
Celebrity.
You that local celebrity for sure. So okay, so you're doing some things during homecoming. All right, that's what's up. So listen, it's been a pleasure talking to a DJ. First time, and I think I'm going to continue. I like talking to DJs.
Appreciate it.
The man behind the tables, the man behind the music, or the woman. But it's some women doing this joint too now, bruh.
Yeah, it's some hot ladies out there.
There's some hot ladies out here stretching this industry out, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was at the Vegan Soul Fest, and there was that DJ there. She was hot.
What was her name?
Oh man, I knew you was gonna say that. That's what all DJs say. What is their name? I don't remember. I have it in my phone though. I actually taped her set because I thought it was so fly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there on a press pass, but yeah, she was fly.
Mm-hmm.
Her set was fly. So you know, I see a lot of ladies getting into this thing, and you know, wherever it's some money, the girls gonna get into it. I know that. We ain't gonna let y'all fly alone. We gonna come through. So that's for y'all. So what you doing with that? What you do? You look like you coaching. What you do?
Assistant coach. I have a girls AAU basketball team called the Maryland Mercury. And then I, you know, help my guy out, who's the head coach of St. Timothy's ladies basketball team, helping him out.
Okay, we love that you giving time to the ladies. We love
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got back into my first love through my daughter because my daughter plays basketball. She plays for Poly.
Okay. So
Hmm.
that really got you back.
Yeah, and it also keeps me, it keeps me, you know, moving because I'll come in here and I'm helping them out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It keeps your body moving too. Yeah, a little get some energy off, get off some steam. That's
Hmm.
what's up. That is what's up. So listen, I want you to leave DJ Pope's jewel, leave something with the people, leave something inspirational, drop down to the black boxes, leave that jewel.
Leave something inspirational.
Yeah, your
Oh,
jewels.
okay, I got something that I live by.
Come
You
on
know,
by.
a lot of people, and we all struggle with trying to do whatever it is that you do and not being able to do it, but then you see other people doing it, and then you like, well, dang, I mean, you know, I'm just as good as them, or I'm that kind of thing. So I've always lived with this, what's for me is for me, and what's for them is for them.
That's it. If that ain't, that's it. What's for me is for me, and what's for them is for them. That's DJ Pope, y'all. That is. Listen, we appreciate having you. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you having
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And listen, we got to stay in touch. All of those celebrity things y'all doing. Y'all gotta do some collaborate with the box. Y'all gotta you and OG. Enough
me. And
now. Y'all gotta collaborate with us.
hey, we can get it in. We can
We
we
gotta
can
get
do it
something
again.
in. Okay. So
Yeah.
listen, be blessed. We are so glad. We so glad you was part of the spotlight tonight. Your story is intriguing. We wish you continuous greater health, and continue, bringing the music to the people. Music is a healer. Also, it's therapy for us. It's in our DNA.
Mhm.
We need it.
Yep.
Without it, the world would be in trouble.
Mhm.
For sure, for sure. So can I get them deuces? We boxed up and out. Can we get some deuces? Ow! That's it. Don't go nowhere, Pope. Stay there. All right, Black Boxers.